Good morning, children. Hope you're all good. And please, once again, I'm requesting you all, please kindly submit your art integration projects. Those are not still submitted. Fine. So now let us move on with the topic. So in the previous session, we discussed about what, children? The importance of atmosphere and how this atmosphere is responsible for various life supporting activities. And also how we are damaging this atmosphere. That is nothing but air pollution. And when we were talking about the importance of atmosphere, we discussed that this atmosphere is responsible for bringing rains. So today we will discuss how these rains are going to occur or what brings this rain. So as we discussed in the previous session that air results in the movement, air is going to result in the land and the sea breeze. Okay, or in the movement of this air is resulting in the wind, storms, isn't it? So now, when I'm saying that there is a movement of wind, it is nothing but the raising of warm air, and which is being the empty space which is created by it is being occupied by the cool air. So you see that there is a constant movement of the cyclic movement of the warm and the cool air. Okay, so that results in water convection currents. Now this repetition, constant cyclic movement of air is also responsible for bringing rain. Now let us see how. Now we all know when air is getting heated up, it is getting heated up on both the water bodies and as well as on the land masses. Okay, so the land, earth, water and earth get heated during daytime by the sun. But then since it is a large water bodies which means that contain large amount of water. Obviously during daytime when there is sun, even water getting heated up. So not only the air but even the water gets heated up, thereby that certain amount of water is getting converted to water vapor. Okay, so now this water vapor, as we all know, let is liquid getting converted to gaseous state, which we can be termed as what, children? Evaporation. So what is evaporation? Conversion of liquid to gaseous state. Now here what is our liquid? Our liquid is the water on the huge water bodies, that is oceans and seas. And converting into what, children? Gaseous state, that is nothing but water vapor. Now since it is very warm, gas being lighter will start raising up. Okay, so when they raise up, they reach a certain level or certain height wherein due to low temperature, because as we know, as there is the lack of temperature, as the temperature keeps on decreasing, the water vapor starts slowly cooling down. Thereby now the reverse happens. And what is that reverse? Now conversion of water vapor back to liquid. But then it cannot happen simply, in the sense when the water vapor start cooling down, they form water droplets. Now these water droplets, what will they do? They will cling on to a small dust particle which is present in the atmosphere, which will act like water, like a nucleus. What does it act like? A nucleus. So to this dust particle, all the water droplets are going to cling on. And thereby what happens? We all know. Air expands on cooling. There are two special cases, children. One is air and water. Please remember this. Air and water, or you can say solid ice, will expand on cooling. Actually, rest all will expand on heating, but air and ice will expand on cooling. So what happens? As the temperature is decreasing, the water droplets will start expanding, and thereby what happens? As they cling on, these become very, very heavy. So a point reaches wherein these water droplets can no more withstand the pressure, and thereby they start falling down back as water. They fall back as rain. What do they fall back as? Rain. And what do we call this phenomena? This phenomena is nothing but your condensation, which we also call it as nothing but precipitation, wherein again gaseous component is converted to liquid. And what is our gaseous component here? Water vapor, converting back to what, children? Rain. But then it is not always that rain will fall, water vapor will convert always into rain alone. Sometimes in hilly areas where the temperature is very very extremely low, these clouds or the water droplets will start cooling to such an extent where they convert to solid, and when they convert to solid they will fall back as water, as snow, as hail. Hail, you all know, the big large ice balls which will be falling on the earth. Okay, hail, and even sleet. So these are the solid forms in which this water vapor will come back to the earth. Okay children. So now, and why this has happened? Due to very low temperature. And when the temperature is not, it is under extreme low temperature, or else under a normal low temperature, it will come back as what children? Rain. So now you see children, what has atmosphere resulted in lifting up this water vapor and coming and reaching the earth back as what children? As rain. Now, do these rain occurs every time throughout the year? No. We have seen they occur in certain specific period of the year, which we term it as what? As monsoon. Now, what is the season? Actually, now it should end up. So, what was the season going on in the June to your September month? October actually, till October. That is what? Your monsoon season. So, these monsoon period, even the monsoon crops. So, what are these monsoons? This is nothing but the period where there is a occurrence of maximum rainfall. Now, why it does happen only in during this period of monsoon? The reason is, as I have told you earlier, earth does not get heated evenly because of many factors. Maybe the rotation of the earth, may occurrence of the different kinds of physical forms, plateaus, mountains, land, water bodies. Okay, so the during certain period of the year, the low hot air will be concentrated in a huge amount, we can say. So wherein what happens, they will start raising up. So when they start raising up, they result in this occurrence of huge number of cloud formations that will fall back as rain, and that season only we call it as what? Monsoon season. And all this happens because of the occurrence of depression. Very often, if you have heard about the weather news, you also heard about the word depression. There is a depression in the Indian Ocean or the West Bengal, Arabian Sea. What is this depression? This depression is nothing but the rising of low air. Now, the low air, what will happen? The warm air will raise up, creating a low pressure. Not, I'm sorry children, not low air, warm air, which will rise up in a very spiral pattern, creating a low pressure area. And thereby what happens? This warm air which has raised up will carry those rain bearing clouds, and in place of it, the cool air will come to occupy this low pressure area, and this will start moving from one place to another place. Due to what? Due to the movement of wind as well, thereby resulting in the occurrence of the rain. So I hope you are clear with this children. So today we discussed about what we have discussed about how the monsoons occur. Okay children. Now let